Alright, we're back with another post-commentary game. We've got going on here. Got some okay wetland card drawing birds in our hand. We got some decent forest birds in the tray. We're going second. Our bonus cards aren't very good. Backyard Birder is the better card in general. And I'm going to go with the Black Tern paired with the Squawko Heron. The Heron is not usually a card I ever play, and if I ever keep it, it's kind of a desperate situation, but it could pair fairly well with the Black Tern here. Just get those two bodies down, pick up some extra cards. There's a lot of good birds that can live in the wetlands, so the Heron could come through there. We're going second, so either the hawk or the chickadee is what I'm looking at here, depending on what my opponent grabs, if they grab anything. So they drew cards. They took the hawk, the round goal, and we flip up Imperial Eagle when we take the chickadee. That's Rule 16 striking again. It's a little demoralizing when that happens. The round goal being birds in the grassland. Kind of looking at the white-crowned sparrow here. I usually don't play the migrating birds, but the white-crowned sparrow isn't a terrible bird. It does qualify for my bonus card, and it actually works out fairly well with the round goals. I can move it to where I need it to be. I can get it to be in the grasslands or the forest. It's a brown power for the round 4 goal, and I can manipulate it to work on the filled column goal in round 2. There we see a black-chained hummingbird in the tray. I'm not really too concerned about grabbing it here. I don't mind if my opponent grabs it and hands out the cherries. I'm going to secure the worm here. I could also just drop the Black Tern. I am going to get the worm for the Squawko Heron. And score a point. There goes the Squawko Heron. My opponent draws more cards here. Bob White flips up to the tray. Kind of looking at that, thinking about it. Does help with the wrong goal. It's a decent 5-point body. Doesn't qualify for my bonus card. It's a decent grassland bird to work toward the round 2 goal as well. Gonna gain a worm for the Black Tern. Just gonna lay eggs next and focus on getting that Black Tern down just to increase my card drawing capability and start to dig for better options moving into the second round. There's a Mississippi Kite for my opponent, so I'm suspecting they have either Rodentologist or Falconer at this point. There's a Black-Chinned. Throw down our Black Tern, so we can look forward to some free cherries here from our opponent. And we start digging. Snow Bunting's good, Red Start is great. Spoonbill is a good bomb, kind of expensive. And we get the white-crowned sparrow off the heron. But at this point, I'm going to discard it. Round 2 tray. Ruddy Duck and Great Crested Grebe. I don't need those cards, but my opponent could really use them, so I'm going to deny them here. They have a look off the top of the deck first. Take the Grebe. And the Squawko Heron grabs the Ruddy Duck. There, we got a free cherry. Getting this American Red Start down is going to be fairly important here eventually. Here I'm looking at Multoni's Warbler and White Wagtail in the tray, and I'm thinking, is this a game that I could make 2 of these teal PABs work? Now, I've had good success with 2 of them in the past, so usually when I see one on its own, at this point in the game, you know, entering into round 2, kind of established myself, thinking, it's not really worth the effort, but 2 of them together can be very impactful. So I'm strongly considering that here, and that's what I decided to go for. And we get Franklin's Gull. Not sure that's going to help us too much here. Squawk O'Hare putting in work, picking up the wagtail. And the Chimney Swift goes. And thankfully nothing terrifying pops up for my opponent. So we have 5 activations left in the round. Plenty of time to get our 4 activations covered. Another predator for my opponent. I'm going to grab some extra food here because we're going to need it. These extra cherries are coming in handy here. And I'm going to want to get this red start down for even more food acceleration. Here comes the red start. More food. It's going to be very important to have tons of food laying around. With these PABs like this, we're planning on playing 2 extra birds at the end of each round. We're going to need a lot of resources. Another free cherry. That's pretty great. Here comes the Multoni's Warbler. And now I have 1 activation left. That gives me enough activations to lay eggs and activate my Warbler. I'm going to then play the Wagtail off the Warbler. And I also have the food to get down the Franklin's Gull here. The Gull, I don't anticipate it's going to help too much, but it does qualify for my bonus card. And it is a brown power for the round 4 goal. So here comes the Wagtail. And thankfully we have just enough resources to use both of these birds effectively. And we snipe the round 2 goal. There we have a pretty good tray in front of us. I'm looking at tufted titmouse. The round 3 goal being birds in the forest. The mockingbird wouldn't be terrible in the forest. Chaffinch isn't going to do much for me. Looks like my opponent grabbed the Chaffinch. Gain some more food here. Looking at getting down this roseate spoonbill. Another free cherry. It's always amazing when you have these hungry PAB birds in play. Coming up short on worms here, that's kind of depressing. But with those excess cherries, we're going to be able to overpay a little bit on some of our birds. There we have a draw card action from our opponent. And another free cherry. They took quite a while thinking about that turn, so they had some tough decisions to make there. I'm going to take my card draw action here. Kind of thinking about this yellow-bellied sapsucker as well for even more food production, but things are panning out pretty well, and I think these extra cherries we're getting from our opponent are going to carry us a little bit. American Crow is a good card. Bush Tit is a good card. And the Heron will pick up the Merganser. We'll get rid of that Merganser, feed it to the turn. Bush Tit could go really well in the forest to improve our gain food action and also generate an extra egg. These teal PABs are going to be burning up a lot of eggs here. So the extra egg production by the bush tit is going to be very welcome. And it looks like we can line up the titmouse and the bush tit into the forest. Going to get rid of one of those extra cherries for an extra egg. Eggs are going to be critically important here. Skip Franklin's Gull because we need every egg we can get. 2 activations left in the round. I'm thinking about my food and my eggs. Debating on whether just the bush tit or using the titmouse here into the bush tit is the right call. Because I'm going to burn up 3 eggs here, playing the titmouse and bush tit. That means I would have to lay eggs again in order to have enough eggs to utilize both my warbler and wagtail. And then the question is, what birds am I actually going to play at the end of the round? And do I have the food to play them? Anytime you're utilizing these teal PABs like this, especially multiples, you gotta put a lot of extra consideration into the timing of all of your actions. So here I am going to go for the titmouse. So I have 1 egg remaining and 1 activation left in the round. There's the chaffinch for my opponent. They're stacking up their forest, and my snow bunting is looking like a really good round 4 option at this point. I am laying eggs here. Skip Franklin's Gull. I spent a lot of time thinking about these last 2 turns in order to line everything up correctly. So here I'm going to go for the snow bunting. I'm going to have to overpay for that. Then I'm going to throw down this crow. Tied there. I could have won the wrong goal by placing the crow into the forest. In retrospect here. But placing it in the grassland gives me the option of picking up an extra piece of food if I don't need the egg. Looks like I'm having second thoughts about those eggs. I'm going to draw cards. American Robin, it's a little late for that. Roadrunner could be a good bomb. Little Bustard is a decent bonus card bird. And this Guaco Heron's going to miss. There we get a tuck from our bunting. Thinking about denying the Sparrowhawk, but I don't think my opponent's going to play that. Cormorant is a garbage card. So we're sitting pretty good. We have a maxed out backyard birder. 4 activations left. We're looking at getting down either the Bustard or the roseate spoonbill, or the Roadrunner. Obviously, we can't play both the Bustard and the Roadrunner. We only have 1 slot left in our grasslands. So, getting these expensive birds lined up with the appropriate food and eggs it's going to be a little bit challenging with only limited number of activations left in the game. You really have to thread the needle in round 4 with these teal PABs, because sometimes they force you to take inefficient activations in order to benefit from their power. But I think we've done a fairly good job here of squeezing out as much efficiency from every action as possible. Even the draw card actions are pretty beneficial, even in late in the game in round 4 like this. We have some good cards in hand, but they're not necessarily the best options for the resources we have available. So it wouldn't hurt to see some more options here. Throw down the spoonbill here, or play bird action. And we pick up a decent 3-point wetland scientist. So we have 2 activations left in the game. We need to lay eggs. And my opponent isn't mounting much of a scary offense here. I'm feeling pretty confident at this point, but that could change here with 2 turns left in the game. Could see some big eagles, some big bombs. So I need food if I'm going to play birds. And I decide to get rid of the Roadrunner and gamble on the bonus card of Little Bustard, which isn't a bad gamble when you have so many birds on the board like this. Chances are that you're going to hit something pretty decent. So my last action has to be the lay egg action, and I'm probably going to drop the... at this position, I'm looking at dropping the robin into the forest, which isn't a great drop, but it's the bird I have, and it helps me pressure this round goal. I am going to draw the extra cards off the Franklin Skull here, because I have the extra 5th egg, and I only need 4 eggs to play birds, and luckily enough, we pull Cerulean Warbler off the top of the deck. So that's going to replace my robin. It doesn't help with the round goal, but it's going to grab me another bonus card. And we get a cycle off our Snow Bunting, and Fish Crow is a decent body. Cerulean Warbler goes down, no brainer, and we see Omnivore Expert, which now radically increases the value of that Fish Crow in my hand that I drew off the bunting. And it's brown power that lets me pressure the round goal. I'm looking at the Little Bustard. I have the food to overpay for it, but instead of gambling on the bonus card, I'm going to go with the guaranteed points of the Fish Crow. We're tied for the round 4 goal. The Fish Crow will allow me to win it. So we got some really good top deck luck here right at the end of the game. And there we have it. 14 birds on the board. We win the round goal. Well, if you like that teal PAB action, do me a favor and hit the like button. I'd really appreciate it. And let's see how it pans out. Pretty even so far. And the Tuck cards bring it home, 93 to 83. Let's have a look at the boards here. Maxed out Backyard Birder, 3-point Wetland Scientist, 6-point Omnivore Expert, lucky pull at the end. And my opponent has a 10-point Rodentologist and Prairie Manager. Can't get the words out of my mouth. Alright, thanks for watching, everybody.